All right, so we're 2 minutes out, so I'm going to go ahead and turn your mics back on for the regular session and get this recording started.
Please stand for the pledge. Angela, roll call, please.
Counselor Heggie,
Here.
Counselor Richards, Counselor Sanchez here, Council President Thorstad, Mayor Coleman,
Present.
Counselor Osberger,
Here.
and Counselor Bronson.
Here.
Let the record show that we have 6 present and 1 absent. Moving on to the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. There is a request for council action regarding resolution number 14 and also some city minutes. Meeting minutes. If anybody would like to pull an item, they can, or they can make a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Angela, please call for a vote.
Counselor Richards, Counselor Sanchez, yes. Council President Thorstad,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Osberger,
Yes.
Counselor Bronson,
Yes.
Counselor Heggie,
Yes.
Let the record show that we have 6 yeses and 1 absent. Moving on, recognition of visitors and hearing of petitions. Do we have any visitors? Nope. Next item, request for council action, naming of 3101 Zelkova Street.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, Council, what you have before you is an RCA for naming the property that we've been calling Quarry Park or Quarry Property down there at Zelkova Street. Since we've acquired that property, we've never given it an official name at all. And so we've just informally called it Quarry Park. And so in order to support future development and marketing, and that's the big thing, marketing, and I have a little story to share when I get to the end of this, but staff is proposing formal adoption of a park name. In your packet, you would see resolution number 32 for 2016, which actually establishes a process for naming a publicly owned facility. And so staff is seeking council consensus. So there's no vote, just consensus to move forward with the process with the proposed name Quarry Park, and suggestions for a different name or process, or a motion to send the naming proposal to the Park and Tree Committee for its first review. Any final decision of the naming would return to council at a later date for a vote if staff is directed to proceed this evening. Resolution number 32 requires a 30-day public notice period of the naming proposal, which requires a small advertising fee. There's no other financial impacts that would be anticipated at this time, and adoption of a formal name will necessitate signage in the future, with those costs to be determined at that time. So yeah, you have 3 options. Staff is recommending option one, providing a general consensus on the proposed name. And just a reminder, there is no vote required. And the reason why this kind of came up, my little story, is it was this winter. I walked into the office and I saw Dominic and Sean Hagee, both Public Works employees, standing and looking at a map. And I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing? They were looking at Quarry Park, and I said, well, what are you guys thinking? What are you guys looking at out there? And Sean says, well, I'm thinking that this might be a really good location for a disc golf park out here, or a disc golf course. And I thought to myself, yeah, that actually is not a bad idea, because I don't know a whole lot about the sport, but I know that it's growing big time. And as soon as he said that, I thought to myself, no, not just a disc golf course, but what if we created or built one of the best disc golf courses that we could possibly create in this region or in this state to draw in people, to play professional tournaments. And so it sent us down a little rabbit trail, and we reached out to, well, actually, I did a little bit of research. So it kind of got my interest, and I looked into it and learned that this particular sport has grown by 76% over the past 5 years. There's now more than 17,000 disc golf courses worldwide, and in 2025 alone, communities were adding an average of 3 new courses every single day. I was like, this is interesting. So I was thinking, how can we make this a destination? Because I think this is a really, really good idea. I love that it came from staff and not like from me or anyone on the executive team. I thought that was really cool. So as we began to kind of think about this, we reached out to Avery Jenkins of Disc Golf World. So he owns his own company. He is a 2009 professional disc golf world champion. He was recently inducted into the Disc Golf Hall of Fame, and he is one of the most respected course designers in the sport. And we wanted to know whether he had any interest in coming to look at the park to see if it could support that. And so anyway, he's like, yeah, I actually have connections to the area. He says, my mom lives in Bend. He says, I've actually played at the course up at Tadmore. It was like one of the first courses in the US, like years and years ago. He's like, and I've never designed a course in Oregon. He said, I would love to come and look at this property. Yeah. So he comes out in, I think it was February, and he spent 2 days walking every square inch of that property. And he provided a report. I can't remember. It was like a couple of weeks later. And he concluded that Quarry Park has the characteristics needed for a professional tournament level 18-hole course. There's a certain section, I wish you could see it. It is beautiful. It is amazing. It would be kind of on the north or on the east side of the park. It's awesome. And that he said, this could attract players from throughout Oregon and beyond, while also providing an outstanding recreational amenity for our residents. So that's just one example, like, of what we could start out there. Now we have, other ideas of making this, that being kind of an anchor, but doing other things out there with trails and all of that other stuff. So we ended up retaining him to design this course, and he is currently working with our public works staff right now. I love what he's doing, because they can come out and do it themselves, and it can cost a lot more money, or he can work with whoever hires him, and he can help kind of oversee the project and direct public works staff to help build this course. And then he comes out and makes sure that, it's being designed properly, and Public Works has been doing a wonderful job out there. This is going to be awesome. And if you know anything about Sean's work in the parks with the benches and the stuff that he's been creating and the attention to detail that he gives to just that, you can imagine what this disc golf course is going to look like with the oversight of somebody who is a professional tournament level direct champion. So anyway, that's kind of like we're coming to council saying we need to have a name for this so we can start marketing this. Now, what was really interesting is after we did all of this, I have a connection over in Lebanon, and I was talking to him, and I noticed he had like a disc golf shirt on. And I looked at him, I said, "Are you into disc golf?" And he says, "Am I into disc golf?" He says, "I am a national amateur tournament director." And I said, "You got to be kidding me." And he had no idea that we were looking at Quarry Park. And he says to me, he says, "So when are you going to do something with that park down there? Because it would be a great location." I said, "You have no idea." I said, we're looking at this and we've hired somebody to design a course for us." And he told me, he said, "You have no idea how many people this is going to bring into the area." He said, "It is amazing. There are people that come from other states to play at courses in Oregon." And he says, "If you design a good course, you're going to bring in a lot of people." So all of that to say, I'm super excited about the work that's going on down there. I'm super excited about what the future could be for Quarry. And if this could be kind of an anchor, I think this is really going to take off. So that is kind of the backstory to why we're bringing this to council tonight. So
Thank you for sharing that great story. I'm really excited about the work that's being done down there and this idea. I was a little concerned regarding giving it a name when we might be able to offer it as an investment opportunity to come alongside somebody, but staff assured me that that can be changed later, but it's helpful for them in marketing now to have a name. So counselors, what are your thoughts on this? We just need consensus as City Manager Ogden said.
I like what's recommended.
Yep.
Same. I'm so excited. I want you to do it.
Sounds like you got consensus.
okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Thank
Can I speak?
And
Oh, yeah.
Counselor Bronson
Yeah, we-
too.
You know, in my recent adventures cycling across the United States, that's one thing, because we see it in a lot of city parks and county parks and state parks. And there's a lot of really nice disc golf courses, you know, in the East and across the Midwest. So I think this would be perfect for Sweet Home. I support it.
Great. How exciting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing more
Yeah.
soon.
And I'm thankful to staff, Dominic, to you and Sean for really working so hard out there and really coming up with this idea. I love it.
Yeah. Sean's doing good, but Dominic's doing well too. So, yeah. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, request for council action resolution number 13 for 2026.
Yeah, Madam Mayor and Council, this is concerning street closures for National Night Out. As you all know, we did that last year for the first time. This year, we're wanting to do it on Tuesday, August 4th, on the actual date for National Night Out. So we're super excited about that. With not having a jamboree this year, it just makes it easier for PD to be involved in that. And as you know, it's an opportunity for people in the community to connect with and build relationships with first responders and just kind of promote community engagement. So the event would be that evening, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Festival Street. A little bit different this year. We're expanding it as the event will probably grow. Last year, we had it just on Festival Street in between Long and Main Street. And this year, we would be going across Long Street, closing off that little section of Long, and then on to 13th Avenue right there where that property was just purchased for the library, and ending right there. We'd have a band set up. We have food vendors, all of that. And so just the technical details beginning at 2 p.m. Parking closures would take effect along Festival Street section of 13th and Long, including parking adjacent to the former Garden Center, now the library property. Then also at 2 p.m., 13th Avenue between Main and Long Street would close to allow vendors and participants to show up and to begin to set up. And then at 5 p.m., the remaining area would close down, including 13th and Long right there by Mr. Lucky's and the post office. So it's a phased approach. It's not to close down all at once, just to provide us some time, and very similar to last year. And just so council knows, the affected businesses, should this pass will be notified in advance, and street closures themselves uh, would not result in any additional cost to the event. So staff approves the resolution, and I'm happy to answer any questions. And I would like to thank Angela for all of the hard work that she puts into these events. I know that Harvest Festival is a much larger event. She loves it, and she's really been helpful to us. So thank you.
Any questions from counselors? We'll entertain a motion.
So moved as recommended.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 13 for 2026. Angela, please call for it. Well, is there any discussion? Hearing crickets. Angela, please call for a vote.
Council President Thorstead,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Osberger,
Yes.
Counselor Bronson,
Yes.
Counselor Heggie,
Yes.
Counselor Richards, Counselor Sanchez.
Yes.
Let the record show that we have 6 ayes and 1 absent. Moving on to the next item on the agenda is request for council action adopting an intergovernmental agreement, with Oregon Department of Revenue.
Yeah, Madam Mayor and Council, this RC is about agreement that would authorize the Oregon Department of Revenue to collect Sweet Home's transient lodging tax on the city's behalf beginning October 1st. So just want to emphasize that the tax itself, it's not changing. There's no tax increase. No new tax is being created. The change would simply be just who collects that. So while the city has historically collected the tax locally, staff has found that collecting from short-term rentals has become increasingly difficult. So we do a good job collecting from the lodging providers we know about, but identifying and collecting from every short-term rental is really much more challenging for us. So the Oregon Department of Revenue already has systems in place, reporting mechanisms, and enforcement tools in place to collect these taxes statewide, and can generally do a much more efficient and better job than we can as a small community. After reviewing the administrative costs and speaking with some other jurisdictions already participating in the program, staff believes that this change would improve compliance, simplify the reporting process for lodging operators, and then reduce administrative work for city staff, and likely improve the collection of taxes that are already owed. So under the agreement, the Department of Revenue would collect the tax. It would deduct its administrative fee as authorized by state law and then distribute the city's share back to Sweet Home on a quarterly basis. The change would also eliminate the city's role in collecting Lynn County's transient lodging tax. Staff has already coordinated with Lynn County that transaction with the Lynn County Treasurer, and no issues are anticipated on their end either. So they're fine with it. While we can't predict exactly how much additional revenue this may generate, the city currently receives about $40,000 annually in transient lodging tax, and so staff believes that this agreement gives us the best opportunity to improve compliance and ensure that we're collecting the revenue that's already owed under the existing tax. And so it's staff's recommendation to approve this agreement with the Oregon Department of Revenue.
Any questions from counselors?
Ken has a question.
Yes.
Okay, in the neighborhood I live in, there's 3 houses and soon to be 4 that do vacation rentals. Do those owners of that property actually know that this fee exists?
That's a good question. I would assume that if they're connected with like an Airbnb or VRBO, they would have to report that to the state. And it's my understanding that the state has better records than we do, and they're more efficient in getting that tax as opposed to us. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's what I do know.
Well, partially answers it, because I just know there's a lot of usage there. And so that's a lot of usage of the services of the city, on the city. And so I just want to make sure that they're aware that they should be paying for those services.
Correct.
Thank you. We'll touch base on it next week.
Any other questions of counselors? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
So moved as recommended. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this resolution. Any discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt an IGA with Oregon Department of Revenue. Angela, please call for a vote.
Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Osberg,
Yes.
Counselor Bronson,
Yes.
Counselor Heggie,
Yes.
Counselor Richards, Counselor Sanchez,
No.
Council President Thorstad.
Yes.
Let the record show that we have 5 ayes, 1 no, and 1 absent. Moving on to the next item on the agenda is first reading of ordinance bills, ordinance number 3 for 2026.
Yeah, Madam Mayor and Council, this RCA is ordinance number 3, so it would be to amend the Sweet Home Municipal Code for nominations and declaring the need for expediency clause. So basically, got to thank Cecily for finding this. This is a housekeeping amendment to keep the city's municipal code consistent with some changes in the Oregon election law. So last year, legislature adopted House Bill 4024, which now requires incumbent candidates for local office to file their candidacy 7 days earlier than the non-incumbent candidates. Our municipal code has not been updated since 1986, so it still provides the same filing deadline for everyone. So this ordinance simply updates our code to match the current state law. This is the first Sweet Home City Council election, upcoming election affected by House Bill 4024. So staff wanted to make sure that our code was up to date to be in compliance with state law. So yeah, so that's basically what it is. We just want our municipal code to be in compliance with state law, and right now it's not. So.
Any questions from counselors? I'm hearing none. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved as recommended. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 3 for 2026. I'm sorry, to do the first reading of ordinance number 3 for 2026. Any discussion? Angela, please call for a vote.
Counselor Bronson,
Yes.
Counselor Heggie,
Yes.
Counselor Richards, Counselor Sanchez,
No.
Council President Thorstad,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Osberg.
Yes. Let the record show that we have 5 yeses and 1 nay regarding ordinance number 3 for 2026, which means we'll conduct the first reading this evening. Thank you. I will now entertain a motion to conduct a second reading by title only at the next city council meeting.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second to conduct this ordinance number 3 by title only at the next council meeting. Any discussion? Angela, please call for a vote.
Counselor Heggie,
Yes.
Counselor Richards, Counselor Sanchez,
No.
Council President Thorstead,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Osberger,
Yes.
Counselor Bronson.
Yes.
Let the record show that we have 5 ayes and 1 nay to read this by title only at the next council meeting. The next item on the agenda is third reading of ordinance bills, ordinance number 2 for 2026.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, this is title only, correct?
Correct, title only now.
Title only. Okay, yeah. This is ordinance bill number 2 for 2026, ordinance number 1340, an ordinance repealing Sweet Home Municipal Code SHMC 5.08 bicycle dealers and amending SHMC 5.24 social games, SHMC 5.28 taxi cabs, and SHMC 5.32 secondhand dealers.
I will entertain a motion from councilors to adopt this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 2 for 2026. Any discussion? Hearing none. Angela, please call for a vote.
Counselor Osberger,
Yes.
Counselor Bronson,
Yes.
Counselor Heggie,
Yes.
Counselor Richards, Counselor Sanchez,
Yes.
Council President Thorstead,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman.
Yes. Let the record show that we have 6 ayes to adopt ordinance number 2 for 2026. Next item on the agenda is reports of committees. There is a health committee meeting minutes in this. Are there any counselors who would like to report from the committees that they serve on? Hearing none. Department reports. There are
I got
3
one.
department. Oh, you do? Go for it,
Health
Counselor
committee.
Bronson.
Hey, we got the health committee coming up. What are we calling it?
The health
Day?
fair.
Saturday coming up. I'm not there, but it's coming up. So
Yes. On August 15th, there will be a
August
health
15th.
fair.
okay,
Mhm.
thank you. Wanted to get a plug in for that.
Yep.
Thanks. Bye.
Department reports. There are 3 department reports in our packet. Are there any department directors that would like to highlight anything?
I just want to thank council for approving the purchase of 1211 Long Street. We've had a lot of positive community feedback, so I can't wait to see how the project goes. Also, I want to thank everyone that came out to Creature Teachers last Friday at Sankey Park. We had over 140 kids and parents show up, which was twice the amount we expected. But everyone had a great fun petting all of the lizards and dragons and snakes and all of that. And we scared one Sportsman's Holiday Princess with the snake.
Sounds like it was a great event. Great job, Director Daisy. Any other directors would like to highlight something from their reports? Any questions from counselors to the department directors? Hearing none. Reports of city officials, city managers report.
Yeah, I just have a few things. I just wanted to say the fireworks display on the 4th was amazing. And I know events like this, they don't happen just randomly. It takes planning and coordination, and I know how much work that goes into those. And I just want to say thanks to the community for all of that, the volunteers and just everyone. Thank you for that. It was awesome. Also, thanks to everyone who was involved with Cut the Gut. From a PD perspective, it was pretty safe, and it looks like a lot of people were in town and a lot of people had fun. So that was great. Sportsman's Holiday, the parade was great. I just thank you to Public Works for all of the work you guys do out there, and PD and all the volunteers that were involved there. So that was really, really, really good. And just another reminder, National Night Out coming up on the first Tuesday in August, August 4th. And so we would love to see you all there. And then the last thing I have here is, we've been contracting with Greg Springman for some public works stuff. And I met with Greg today, and Greg's ready to pull the plug. And so he's ready to launch into retirement fully. We've enjoyed having him over the last handful of months just to help us with transition. But during that time, Dominic Vallone has really stepped up to the plate to help lead Public Works, and it's in a really good spot over there. I appreciate just everything that you've been doing over there. I can tell the guys just love you, and you're just a great leader over there. So we are putting him in an interim Public Works Director role, and so thank you for considering that and stepping up and doing that. I think you're doing a great job over there. You've been with the city for so many years. I don't even know how many now, but a lot. So yeah, a lot. Yeah. So, I mean, you've earned the trust and respect of the community and everyone over there. And I think you bring a lot of experience and institutional knowledge and leadership. And so I just appreciate the last few months just really keeping us in the loop and keeping things really organized over there. And so I'm excited to work with you on that. And I know that they are over there too. So I just wanted to let council know what was going on there. And so that's what I have.
Great. Congratulations. And thank you so much for being willing to step into that role. I think you'll do a fantastic job leading as you have already. So thank you. Mayor's report. I too just want to extend a thank you to everybody involved in the fireworks. I think that Adam had some play in that, and so those were great. Sportsman's Holiday went very well, and as City Manager Ogden said, there were a lot of people in town. It was a great event. Lager Olympics was fun as well, and I'm just grateful for our community showing up and enjoying the things that they do, and I'm grateful for Director Daisy doing these activities that bring the community out to, have fun with their neighbors. So I'm grateful for all of that, and I hope everybody's having a good summer. I don't really have any other report to give right now, but we're going to move on to the next council business for the good of the order. Anything? Councilor Bronson, do you have anything?
One last thing. Don't forget the outstanding job that our Loggers Olympians did last
Yes.
Saturday.
Yes, they did a great job. It's always fun to watch them out there. So, yeah. Okay. Any other council business for the good of the order? Hearing none, I'm going to close this meeting out at 7:03 p.m.